And then this year we had rain again.
Yeah, this year it rained.
So again,
so does it just turn into a big mud pit?
So that's a whole debacle in itself.
Yeah,
so
that was another.
Like I said, like I have, I'm thinking the paranoia of the past 2 years. It rained, people showed up, it was a show, we couldn't do stuff, it was a nightmare, and like just the struggle of like, going from it being the height of this thing in 2019 to 2020 to 21 to where it's, we're struggling money-wise, can't get the event off the ground, it's pandemic, people aren't showing up. It was just like this, just hard road. And then like 2023 happens with the castle, and it's like, okay, good, we're good. And then I'm thinking this year, like, okay, we're going to be really good this year. And then like I look at the weather on the Monday before the event, and it's calling for 80% chance of rain on
bullseye.
And I'm like freaking out because I'm like, we worked so hard to get it back to this point, and it's been such a hard road. And me and Dave literally just like sat in my camper, and we were like, what are we going to do? How, like, failure is not an option. Like, we have to do whatever it takes. And like, I don't even know what happened, but Dave was just like, what if we cover it? Like, what if we cover stuff? And I'm like, how, dude? Like, how could we do it? And like, he's like, we have access to like these billboard tarps, like they're old billboards that you can use. Like, I can get them for free. And so they're
how
like,
do you get these for free?
I'm just I can't answer that question.
Don't worry about it.
So they're like, but the tarps are like probably 20 feet wide and like 40 feet long. They're really big.
Yeah. Thick too.
And
nice.
So I was like, he's like, we can get a bunch of billboards, and he's like, dude, we'll just figure out what we can cover. And he's like, and we walked the course, and I was like, dude, if we do poles, and also like, I am not. One, I don't have a ton of money. Two, I'm not an expert carpenter. So like, we're trying to figure out how to cover a football field of ramps
with tarps.
with tarps.
Oh, you've already had them all built out?
Yeah, the whole course was done.
Yeah, we were actually ahead because, like I said, the castle, we were like scared because we wasted so much time. We were like scrambling, and then it's nice when the team starts showing up, we can like hang out and kind of take a breath.
Like Tuesday before the event, Wednesday, everybody's getting there, they're wanting to ride.
We see the light at the end of the tunnel, and this was like, we were in a good spot, and then we saw the rain, and then this was like almost more of a massive build than the pirate ship. Almost.
Yeah, because we figured out that a lot of the straightaways that we had built, like, there's a deck on this side, and you have ramps in between. Most of them were 16-foot wide strips. So I was like, dude, Dave, if we do poles down this side, and we do poles down this side, and we frame in above 16 feet wide all the way down, I was like, when we tarp it, we can overhang this side, and we'll just overlap like crazy. I was like, that might work. Like, we might be able to kind of figure it out. And we were just like, okay. Like, I remember we were like at a Waffle House, when we're talking about this, and we were just like, it'll work.
That's all.
Like, I was like, we can do it. And then I kind of figured, I was like, okay, well, I can cover. We built like a big concrete bowl. That was also another thing. We built an insane concrete bowl. And I was like, I can get a 50 by 50 foot tarp from Harbor Freight, and if we can build some type of structure over top of the bowl, I can cover the whole thing. So I was like, okay, cool, I can cover the bowl. That's one thing.
Yeah, because that would just turn into a pond.
Yeah. I was like, all right, cool, that's one thing that we can cover. Check. We can do the swamp rail with the mud. We can do that in the rain. Check. That's another thing. We can do the OJ Wild Ride. It was like the big drop into the wood across the water. I was like, we can do that in the rain. Check.
Yeah.
Like,
and so I started OJ Wild Ride.
Yeah, well, it's sponsored by OJ Wheels. They're like a skateboard wheel company.
Oh, cool.
So I figured out these two other obstacles that we could do in the rain, and I was like, dude, that's 5 events we can do in the rain that we can one cover or run in the rain. So we started. I was like, dude, well, if we do the stuff that we can't cover on Friday when it's dry, and we do the covered stuff on Saturday, I was like, that's it.
Yeah,
and you're good.
Yeah, I was like, that's how we can do it. So then it was like, once we figured that out in our heads, we were like, it was game on. Like, we were lit. I bought probably 500 16-foot long 2x6s. at least. And we were just like
unforeseen expenses.
Like we were just like I mean, I literally we stayed up like, so the gates open at we say noon on Friday, but we'll let people in like a little bit early, like 10 or so on Friday. So Thursday, all day long, we're just like putting poles in the ground, framing this shit up. Like we're just like, like just go and guys are in the bowl, they're framing it up, like, and we're hammering shit out. And like when it started getting dark, we started like putting the tarps over, and I didn't sleep from, so I woke up at like 6 on Thursday, worked all day long, then kept going all night long until
7. You guys were up till 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I went all day, all night until, and then at noon, I was like delusional. I was so stressed out. I hadn't slept. No, like it was just freaking out. My wife was like, "Come to the camper and sleep, like for at least an hour.
Mm-hmm.
People are coming in. The tarps are up. Everybody's good. Like it's all taken care of." And I like slept for an hour, got back up, had more work to do. It was probably the furthest that I've ever like pushed myself like physically and mentally in my entire life of like no sleep, no food, extreme stress, rain's coming, like just all these things. And then thinking about the last years on top of it, we've been there for a month building. It was pretty extreme. Like it was pretty extreme and it was not fun to do at all. But it's like the people are coming. They're coming. They're coming. Yeah. And these people are, I mean, there was like a whole car full of dudes from like the Netherlands that flew to California and rented an RV and drove across America.
Really?
And like they're to get to Swampfest. And it's like you have people coming from like Japan and Colombia. And just all China and like every single country you can think of, like people coming there, to where I'm like, the show has to go on and they have to get their money's worth, no matter what the conditions are. Period. I don't give a if I got to stay up for 4 days in a row.
Yeah,
it's got to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
No
like,
option.
and also it's like, I even told the guys, I was like, look, I am going to stay up for as long as it takes to get this done. I don't need to kill you guys to do this. If you get to the point where you're dying, go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to kill you guys. Like, but like, I am gonna go until I can't, because like I'm the only person out of the crew that I can completely kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with killing myself to make it happen, but I don't want to kill Dave for my event. You know, like so. But it all worked out. Like everybody like hammered through and we made it happen and we accomplished every single event. Everybody loved it, and like I don't think I even heard a single person complain about the rain, and I was like shocked.
Awesome. And I knew
awesome.
when we were thinking about it, because I was like, visually it's going to look cool and people are going to be like, holy shit, like you guys figured out a solution to this problem. And like, I think people appreciated it. We did what we had to do. The event was definitely a success, you know, when it could have been like a disaster, or most people would have called it or something, you know, but I don't know, got to hammer down.
Absolutely.